Chances are, if you want to buy some singles from BloomBurrow, you're going to have a hard time finding a card that you want at a reasonable price. In today's video, we are going to discuss the pre-order singles market right now, why these cards are getting so hard to find, and what players are going to have to do to get ahead of it. We'll also focus on a few of the spoilers for the upcoming set. Guys, stick around. We got a lot to cover today. Just how badly, how much are you willing to pay to get the cards you want on the release day for BloomBurrow? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder, guys, if you're new to my channel, if you enjoy hanging out with the Moxman, you like my content, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell. I put out new content every single day. And thanks again, guys, because we're only 260 subscribers away from getting to 23,000. Thanks a lot for making it happen. You guys are epic. My regular viewers, my new viewers. It's awesome to be able to share this experience. Now, that's enough shilling for myself. Let's talk about what's going on in the singles market. Now, we know at the start, the bundle packs are pretty much sold out at a lot of places. You have to go on Amazon now to kind of get those. Maybe you can find somewhere that's pre-ordering still, but most places I know, completely dry, sold out, even the big boys. Also, the starter decks, selling out everywhere, almost all gone. People who just want the intro deck to play, they bought it. It's done. Now that means we've got play booster boxes selling quite well. All my data points to that, doing well. Collector boxes starting to uptick a bit, but still pretty slow in comparison to other sets we have seen, even like Outlaws of Thunder Junction. But that doesn't mean it's done yet, because we still have spoilers coming. But there are the singles market now. Since I knew that was kind of what was going on, I kind of knew that data. We didn't need to rehash that today. I can do that in a 5-second blurb. But what we do need to know and focus on is now the pre-order singles market, because this is getting a little bit loopy. If you got in at the very beginning when spoilers started just last week, you would have saved a ton of money. As the market is price correcting and changing gears, the cards are shooting up in price, but not only that, they're selling out and they're hard to find, even though stores have raised their prices. The LGS like, oh, we'll mark it up another like 10 bucks. Sells out, the next 4 are gone. We'll raise it 5 bucks more, sold out, it's gone. There are particular cards that players want to get, and they're not willing to wait. They want them now. Even though every player out there, every person who's played Magic for a while knows these are going to be around for a while. They're not going to disappear overnight. We're going to see reprints, and a lot of these cards will price adjust in the next few weeks. And yes, you could have another card that is as popular as Shieldred and shoots up to like 80, 90, 100 bucks. That can happen. We know it does. But will it happen for this card? Because this is the one that is selling out most often. The card I'm going to share with you is the one that everyone's buying, and even when the price is shifting upwards, players are still snagging it. Let's take a look at this card, okay? Here we have Maha. Now, I'm showing you right now 401 Games. When they had this thing at 25 bucks Canadian, which would be like $20 US, this thing sold out right away. I think they had 12 copies up if I recall, and then it was gone. Okay, they have not reissued or relisted anything to show us where they're going with this, okay? Now that's interesting because the next one, when you take a look, you'll see this is now face-to-face. And face-to-face also has this bad boy sold out at $24.99. And then even the alternate version at $29.99, completely sold out. And they had 20 copies. Gone, okay? Now the funny thing is, even if we take a look at what's going on TCG Player. And if you're shopping on TCG Player, please don't forget to use my affiliate link found in the description of the video. If you're buying anything on there for any of your BloomBurrow stuff, you can help the channel out just by clicking the link. You can see these cards selling are anywhere from $49.99 to $40.99. Either way, that's US, which means you could get more than 2 Canadian versions than one of these. A 2-for-1 deal if you got it in the early days of what was going on. And that's just crazy to think about, okay? I want you guys to take a moment and think about what we're talking about. That is a massive amount of money to see a card that's brand new just pop off like that. Now, the interesting thing, though, is we all knew this card was great when we saw it. We understood the value of the card and what players were going to think about this card. Now, I don't see a lot of resellers yet. I don't see people buying the pre-order and trying to resell. I also have not heard of canceled orders yet. The price has not gotten so funky that people have taken that $24.99 and said, oh, we didn't get any. Sorry, your order's canceled. As far as I know, everything's still being honored. But we know what happens if this card keeps going up. If people desiring it, driving the price up means the people who got in at the lowest rungs, depending if you have an unscrupulous seller, you may see orders canceled. We have seen this before with things in Fallout, so it's going to happen. Only if that card goes even higher than it is right now, and we don't really know how far this is going to go. Things could calm down in the next couple of days. Now, many other cards, all the beasts, the Calamity Beasts, all of them are selling pretty good. And not all of them are very expensive. They've all kind of varied in price, and players seem to be taking an upswing on a lot of these and saying, I like what I see, I'm going to pick some of these up. The price for players seems reasonable on pre-order, but they're not selling out quite as quickly as we saw with Maha there, so keep that in mind. A lot of these cards are going to be around, and the Three Tree City, which I expected to really be selling fast as one of the real unique lands inside this set, is selling at mediocre levels at best. Okay, it's selling okay, but it's nothing to drive home a stake and say, look how amazing that card is. It's just not, it's not taking flight like I thought it would, okay? It's one of those things when you look at it, you say, it's going to be amazing. But some cards you think are going to be amazing, nothing happens until somebody figures a way to break it and make it better, which is why some of these cards are going to adjust in price about 10, 20 days after release, because we'll see all kinds of craziness come out as people actually start building in Standard, Commander, Modern, and try this stuff out and actually try to build with it. I can't wait to see which cards adjust. Now, will Maha go even higher? Maybe. It could. It's a really great card, okay? I can't wait to see what people start to play with it and do with it and make things work, okay? Or if it fails miserably and the price comes down, could be another whole situation where it's like, oh man, that card did not. Remember, like with the Mole God, Anzarag, it just didn't go out the way people thought it would. Although it still has some upswing and it's a very cheap card now, it didn't stay at the $30 level, did it? So be curious to see. So be aware that we all know there's a reprint of this set going to be on for a couple of years, but that doesn't mean this card is going to be as available if it takes off. So I can understand why people want to buy into that. Now let's take a look. Let's get to the second half of the video here, and let's take a look at some of these awesome spoilers, because there's some great stuff. Now, this is Kitsa. Have you noticed how powerful the otters are in this set as an offhanded comment? I was talking on my Discord with my patrons, and I was like, look at these things, man. So this is the Otter Ball Elite. I love the name, man. It makes me think of Dodgeball. Remember the movie Dodgeball? Dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Now, 1 blue, 1 generic for a 1/3 with Vigilance. It's a legendary creature, Otter Wizard. It's also a wizard. Remember that, guys. Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. It can tap to draw a card and then discard a card. That's awesome. But you can also pay 2 and copy a target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if Kitsa's power is 3 or greater. Well, not too hard with Prowess. It's going to be definitely playable in Standard, and I think we're definitely going to see things like this in Commander. So, great card, okay? Let's be honest. It may not be a card that's going to be a $50 card, but as a piece that's going to work for you, it's definitely going to do its job. Now, our next card is the Paw Patch Recruit. Now, this is a single green for a 2/1 Rabbit Warrior. It has Offspring 2, and that means you can pay the 2 additional mana as you cast a spell to get a 1/1 copy of this card. It also has Trample. It says, whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. So as long as they're targeting one of your creatures, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on another creature. And you can use the Offspring to copy it. This is pretty awesome, okay? This card's going to have a little bit of a threat factor over time, and it's going to be something people are going to have to factor in. It's not going to be a kill spell right away to be dealt with, but it can get out of hand if your opponent is relying heavily on spells. I love the idea of this. You have to think twice before you do something. Now here we have Lunar Convocation. This card here is a 1 white, 1 black for an enchantment that's a rare, and it says, at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. Again, this card will be used in Commander, but it also can be used in Standard, okay? Now, at the beginning of your end step, if you gained and lost life this turn, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. And the cool thing is, this thing can also let you draw cards for 1 black and 1 generic, pay 2 life and draw a card. There's a lot going on with this card that is just underrated as a whole. As a rare, this is definitely going to be a card players will utilize, although I don't think it's going to have a big price tag attached to it. It is going to have that factor of like, I'm going to use it. I know it's not an expensive card, but I need to have this in my deck. It's going to be something I can build on, especially a life gain drain type deck. It's going to be fun. Now, our next one here, okay, this is the last one I'm going to share with you guys. This is that cool otter guy, Mythic, who's got haste. Now, this is the translation. It's a 1 red, 3 generic, 1/4. It does have haste. And it says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a token copy of Stormbreaker. Exile those copies at the beginning of the next end step. That is crazy to think how many times you could copy this over with a multitude of spells. But the good news is, with a card like that, let's just jump out here for a second. That card looks on the surface to be disgustingly powerful, but it is turn 4. And even in standard, turn 4, a lot of games will be locked up by that point, so it's not a huge like threat factor right away. But if a game goes long and somebody's got those in their deck and they can build up some spells to cast, it's an entirely different equation entirely. So I think it's something to keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to have the massive impact people think when they first see what that card can do, because it's a turn 4. You got to get to that turn 4, and then you need another turn to be able to cast out spells and do things with it. So keep that stuff in mind, guys. There's a lot more going on there than just the card, the creature, and what it does. But in Commander, yeah, that thing's going to be able to be played. You're not going to see it in Standard. You will see it in Commander. And also in Modern, I don't think it's going to be a huge impact, but I could be wrong. I want to see what people say in the comment section to let me know. So that was your spoilers. That's what's happening on the pre-order side for singles. I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to tell me about what you've bought and what you didn't buy. And if you're going to wait later on, if you got the patience to do it and not buy on release day. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me on the channel today. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for another video. Have an awesome day today, guys. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of my channel. Because of these patrons and YouTube membership members, daily uploaded content, it's all made possible. So thanks again, guys, for being such big supporters of the channel, so much so that you open up your wallet every month to help this channel continue to do what it does. Guys, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with another video. Don't forget to shop smart, shop as smart, and have a great day today, guys. What's this, coffee in my hand? A backdrop of cool stuff? We're at the Ramble Jamble! Yes, I'm still sick, but I'm hanging in there, and I'm getting better every single minute. Ugh, you can't keep me down, boys and girls. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. And your kids back there, I can see them. Don't think I can't. Oh, I know what they're playing with, too. Keep an eye on that stuff, man. Now, let's talk here. Cards look great. Single selling out gives me worry. I know some cards will always sell out. But the jacking up of the prices is going to happen. Don't fall prey to that. Just keep it buttoned up, man. Wait to see how the prices adjust. I mean, yeah, you can end up paying more, but you might save a lot of money because some of these cards adjust in ways you don't expect. So until we know what the market really feels about for some of these cards, it's always okay to say, like Maha, $25, even I would have dove in. But those 12 copies were gone in minutes. And I saw right then and there what the other store did, gone in minutes, and they knew they had mispriced it, so now they're waiting. It was smart, they're waiting. Other LGSs, by the way, same type of deal. So they all kind of followed suit, and they all got like, ooh, it's all gone? Okay, we're not putting any more of those up. And then you see what's happening on TCG Player, and you're like, oh, ho, ho, those players are paying double or more. So the guys at the local stores, they gave it out way too cheap. And you know what? They get burned a bit, but they got some money coming, which helps them out. And I hope they get as many copies as they think they're going to get as well, because you never know how they're going to do all this. And how hard it will be for the allocation period end for new boxes to come in after the pre-orders go out, which can keep the prices quite elevated over time. Anyway, that's enough for today. Moxman needs his rest after I cook, clean, take the dog for a walk, and do other things. But that's okay, because we'll be back tomorrow.